Girls, what are we doing today? So, girls, what are we doing today?
It's one of your beeswax, Kevin. Yeah, you won't believe what we're doing today.
But we're behind someone's house. What's going on?
We're working with bees today. But I don't know anything about bees. We need an expert.
Well, here I am. I'm Hillary with Girl Next Door Honey. I'm going to teach you all about bees today.
Great.
Perfect.
Yay.
Can anyone tell me what sound bees make? Yeah. But what's interesting is they cannot hear that sound. So when they buzz, they don't have ears. So they're not actually hearing it like you and I do. Instead, they're feeling it through their feet. So they feel the
that's
vibration.
like, yeah.
So if you do it again on your arms, like that, then you can feel the vibration.
Yeah.
So that's one way they talk to each other. And another way that they talk to each other is through smell, through pheromones. So this bee is actually making a smell. That's a gland right here. You can see the yellow right there. And this is like a homing signal that they make for other bees. So if they feel lost, they'll go back to the hive and they'll start making this smell. And then you can see she's flapping her wings really quickly. So she's trying to fan that scent through the air so she can send that message to the other bees. And it's basically just telling them how to get home. So every hive has mostly worker bees, but there's also a queen bee.
Whoa.
So this is the queen. She's much longer, and you can see her wings don't go all the way to the end. See how these other bees, their wings go all the way to the end. She also has kind of a bald back here with no hair on it. So she's bigger, but not that much bigger, just slightly bigger. And then her wings are short compared to her body. And her one job is just to lay eggs all day. So that's all she's doing inside of the hive, is laying eggs. So every bee starts out as an egg. These are the eggs. And then they hatch into larvae. So over here is the larva. And it gets fed a little bit of what's called royal jelly. And then if it's going to be a worker bee, they transition it to pollen and honey, and that's what they end up eating. But if they need to make a queen bee, then it only eats royal jelly. So do you notice these are in like a little pool?
Mm-hmm.
That's the royal jelly. So it's kind of like bee milk, like what mammals feed their babies. It's kind of like what the bees feed. But the queen bee just keeps on eating the royal jelly throughout her whole life. So that's why they call it royal jelly.
Do you have any advice for someone that might be afraid of bees?
I really think that learning about bees is the best way to stop being afraid of them. Once you understand them, it really makes all the difference. I have so many people that follow me on Instagram or take a class with me or do this tour even. Sometimes people do the tour just to get over their fear of bees. And just learning about how cool they are and how they're intelligent and that they're really just defending themselves, it just changes people's perspective, I think. So remember how I told you earlier that they communicate through smells? So one of the smells that they make is called the alarm pheromone. And the alarm pheromone just is how they warn the other bees, like, hey, I think we're being attacked. And if they feel threatened, they make this smell that actually smells like bananas.
Ooh.
And that tells the other bees to be on the defense. So when I use my smoker, it just smells like smoke, and they can't communicate with scent.
Gosh. Oh, that's a lot.
Okay, so when you hold it, just be careful where you grab that you're not putting your hand right on a bee. It's actually easier if you hold it on the sides. Yeah, exactly, just like that. And then just try not to tip it too much, so keep it like that angle. You guys want to hold it again? Okay. And then I'm going to work my way to the middle and see if I can find some babies. hopefully the queen. And they're gonna all start running into the hive. Watch them run down.
Oh, there they go.
So they want to go home, basically. That's why they're running around, trying to figure out how to get home. I don't think we're gonna find the queen because they're just kind of... They're making that pheromone, that's the homing signal I told you about.
Alert.
Alert, this is home. Make your hand like one of those claw machines, kind of like this, and you just scrape it off the wood. Ready? So like touch your fingers to the, and hold still, and they'll all run off.
That's whoa.
Well, you're like public
Can I do
transportation.
the other one?
Let's see if I can find the queen. This is my last chance. Everywhere, globally, but not just honeybees, which is what we're working with today. All bees and actually all insects are starting to collapse in like a really alarming rate. And I believe, and there's a lot of studies kind of pointing the finger at, it's this one particular pesticide called the systemic pesticide that lives inside of the plant's vascular system. So it's in the leaves, it's in the pollen that they collect, and it's in the nectar that they're eating. So they get a little bit of it, and it doesn't kill them immediately, it just makes them weak. It weakens their immune system. The best way to help bees is actually to stop using pesticides and also to plant for them. So to plant flowers. But what a lot of people don't realize is the greatest supply of flowers that you can give a bee is a tree. You plant a tree, once that tree is mature, it's going to provide millions of flowers. It's going to outlive you potentially. If you do a little pollinator garden, you have to water it, you have to reseed it every year. If you're gone, it's gone. But if you plant a tree, that's like a lasting food supply for the bees. And it also helps with air pollution, which is harming the bees, and it helps with climate change, which is really harming the bees and everything. All right, you ready to say bye-bye to the bees? You guys want to taste some honey?
Yes.
Okay, let's do a little honey tasting. Okay, so we're gonna taste honey from 3 different neighborhoods in San Diego. And these are from my bees. My bees made it.
Oh.
I didn't make it, the bees made it. So one bee spends her whole life working and she only makes 7 drops of honey. Yeah, and so there's this incredible range of flavors that come out of the honey. One of these is really sour. I can't remember which one it was. This is the last one, so it tastes kind of sour to you. It's like they're all sweet, but if you start thinking about the taste that you're tasting, you can taste the sour, you can taste like, sometimes you can taste like a medicinal kind of taste.
Oh.
I might need to try it again.
Yeah.
I might have missed the sour.
Yeah. Go Kevin! Go Kevin! Go Kevin! Go Kevin! No!
So the moral of the story is...
The real lesson of the story, kids, is that everything's funnier in a bee suit. So go get yourself a bee suit.
No. It's to be positive.
No, the moral of the story is that bees are our friends. Don't be afraid. And plant a tree.
No.
Bees are our friends. Don't be afraid of them. In our next episode, we'll go to visit the San Diego Air and Space Museum, where we'll learn all about the history of flight. Join me in the next episode to find out all this and more. Can't wait to see you.